The road twisted like a noose tightening around the throat of my silence. Pines blurred past the windshield in waves of shadowed green. My wife hummed along with the faint static of an old tune, our song, she said, her fingers brushing my arm as if they still belonged there. But it was my daughter who shattered everything. 9 years old, her legs swinging in the back seat, she handed me a folded piece of notebook paper. Her eyes didn't meet mine. Not at first. I opened it with one hand, watching the road with the other. Dad, turn around now. I didn't flinch. Didn't speak. I simply reached for my water bottle and told them I needed a bathroom break. My voice was calm. I even smiled. The gas station was deserted. A dying place on a dying road. I took her hand as we walked inside. No questions, just a nod. In the restroom, beneath the dull yellow light, she pulled a phone from her jacket. A second phone. Her mother's. I unlocked it with the same passcode my wife used for everything. Her birthday, of course. She never changed it. The first photo loaded like a blade sliding in. Not me. Another man. And my wife. Her hand in his, her mouth close to his ear. The background was her father's cabin. This weekend wasn't our anniversary celebration. It was a burial ground for the life I thought I had. I stared at the screen until my daughter touched my arm. I wiped my palms. The photos were recent. The metadata confirmed it. 3 weeks ago. Same cabin. Same smile she wore that morning. They weren't hiding. They never were. She just assumed I'd never look. 'Cause I trusted her. 'Cause I was the kind of man who believed in slow mornings, shared coffee, and 10-year vows sealed in gold. She knew that about me. Used it. The phone had messages too. Not texts. Images. Him. Her. Cabin window. A single mattress with tangled sheets. One image stood out. Taken from outside the window at night. My wife inside. But the photo wasn't taken by her. It was sent to her. My fingers tightened around the phone. I should have felt rage. I didn't. Only silence. Deep, hollow silence. Kind that settles in after something inside you dies. And there's nothing left to grieve. I flushed the toilet for show. Washed my hands like I still believed I was clean. We returned to the car. I said nothing. Neither did she. Children know when silence means war. I drove. I smiled when my wife asked if everything was all right. I told her the gas station didn't even have toilet paper. She laughed. She always laughed at the wrong things. That night at the cabin, I waited for them to sleep. I knew where she kept her bag. Found the charger for the second phone tucked in a sock. While they slept, copied everything. Screenshots, backups, timestamps. Then I started my own investigation. 3 weeks. That's how long it had been. But there were more photos. Older ones buried deep in her cloud. A year back, maybe more. My daughter was in one. In the background. A birthday party. And he was there. Holding her hand. Smiling like he belonged. The DNA test didn't take long. I used an old toothbrush of hers. Sent it with mine to a private lab 3 hours away. No records. No questions. I waited a week. The email arrived at 3:11 a.m. I opened it alone in my office, surrounded by the illusion of my life. Photos, keepsakes, a marriage certificate on the wall. Probability of paternity, 0%. I didn't cry. Didn't shout. Just stared at the numbers, wondering how I'd missed the signs. The man in the photos. The late nights at work. The new lingerie I never saw. I printed the report. One copy. Folded it neatly. That night at the dinner table, I handed it to her like a receipt. She opened it. Her fork dropped. My daughter kept eating. She didn't ask how I knew. I think a part of her always knew I would. I asked her one question. Was it ever going to stop? She didn't answer. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. I slid the second phone across the table. She didn't touch it. I watched her face collapse. Not with guilt, but fear. Not fear of losing me. Fear of what I might do next. I stood, walked to the fireplace, picked up the framed photo of us on our wedding day. I tossed it in. Glass cracked. Flames took their time. Then I turned to her. I'm filing for full custody. Her lips parted. You can't. I'm not asking. I picked up my daughter's bag. She had already packed it. My wife reached out. Not to stop me. To beg. Silently. Pathetically. I looked at her one last time. Not as a husband looks at a wife, but the way a man looks at a stranger, who no longer matters. We drove back. Same road. Same pines. Same silence. But this time the noose had snapped, and I was already walking away. From the gallows. My daughter leaned her head against the window. She didn't cry. Neither did I. We were already on the other side of something. No vengeance. No yelling. Just truth. Laid bare. Cold. Final. When we reached the city, I asked if she was hungry. She said yes. We stopped for pancakes. The syrup was sweet, and for the first time in months, didn't make me sick.